Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal.
My magazine was run by revenue that was paid for by the business owners in New York, and
Mm.
I would go. We didn't have PayPal or Cash App or Apple Pay, so what I would do is I would go and drive from Mount Vernon into the city, and I would make my runs and my pickups. I would drop off the new magazine. I would pick up money from nightclubs, restaurants, barbershops, etc. And I had Lance with me. Lance was my security. He's carrying, but tonight he wasn't carrying. And Rico was in the back seat.
Mm-hmm.
And so we go to the Bronx and we go to Harlem. In Harlem, we run into this guy who's promoting Death Row East, and that's going to be a New York or East Coast record label that is
Yeah.
unifying the East Coast and West Coast. And the brother had T-shirts, and he says, "Hey, would you wear my shirt?" I'm like, "Sure." He's giving out shirts. And
No
it
doubt.
said
Yeah.
Death Row, like he says love, he said Death Row East, but it's a white shirt and with bold black lettering. And so I threw the shirt on. I'm
Right.
not in the East Coast, West Coast thing. I'm literally an entrepreneur from the tri-state area. I'm not
Right.
thinking about that beef. I knew about it, but whatever. So I wore it.
But this of course was during that time, during the beef, when the beef
Yeah,
was at its height,
yeah.
right? Okay.
And so I'm leaving Harlem and heading down to New York City. We had stopped maybe 20 stops along the way.
Yeah.
And in New York, we go to a club called Downtime. Downtime was not far from Herald Square. Herald Square, you all know, because that's where the Macy's Day Parade is staged every year for television. But we're around the corner at a club called Downtime, and my friend Red Alert was DJing that night. And so we passed the line pretty much like Puffy did at my parties, and they let me in to the club. By the way, outside the club, there weren't a lot of people except for the people online, right? That couldn't get in.
Right.
So we go in the club. We it's packed. We say our hellos. We get our shout outs on the loudspeaker. We're promoting the magazine. I'm in there for an hour. I come out of the club, and now there's a sea of people outside, music playing. The fire marshal is not letting anybody else in. There's a party outside. Let me tell you, you know how we do. Okay.
Right.
If we can't get in, we're going to party any old way. So we're outside, people standing on cars. It looks like Freaknik all over. So, but look, I did my business. My Isuzu Trooper stick shift is right across the street. None of the parking spaces are open, but we go to the truck. I'm going into the driver's seat. Lance gets into the passenger seat, and Rico is sitting in the back.
Right.
So this is where the shit hits the fan. By the way, remember, I've got the Death Row East t-shirt. It's brightly lit out in the streets of New York in front of this nightclub. Puffy pulls up.
And
But
he pulls up
he's in the
this.
right, but he's in the passenger seat. He's not driving. I believe it's Wolf. I talked to Gene Deal on occasion, and he said that wasn't me. I heard about it, but I was not driving. So I think it was Wolf or one of his boys that were driving. He was in the passenger seat, and he pulls up beside my truck. And he
Right.
says, "What's up to Rico first?"
Right.
And then he signals his guy to pull up a little more. And then he looks at Lance, and he gives a head nod to Lance. And Lance is like, "What's up?" And then to me, he says, "What's up, bitch?"
Okay.
So,
What?
and now, mind you, we're literally like 2
Damn.
feet from each other because he's in the passenger seat and I'm in the driver's seat. So we're literally right here.
Right.
And I literally play Kumbaya. I was just like, "No, dude, we know you are trouble. I'm not interested. Just go on about your business. I mind my business. You mind yours. I don't want you a bitch."
Wow.
So he said that. I look at Lance and I'm like, Lance gives me that look like, "What you gonna do?"
Yeah.
Go ahead. You about to say something?
Oh no. I'm just like there's so much animosity so fast, right?
It went from
Pulling up in his
0
mind.
to 60 super fast.
Yeah, but continue. You were saying. I didn't want to interrupt.
But what I was gonna say was that Lance is alive and well today, and Lance don't mind coming on your live, bro, and
Yes.
telling the story. By the way, I'm just letting
Um,
you know. All right, so tell what happened, I guess, from your perspective after we got in the truck.
Actually, okay, we got in the truck, right? I was in the passenger seat watching people dancing. I saw the car. I just saw the driver. I just like nodded to the driver. I didn't see Puffy. So we leave, right? We leave. We go like up a block, and I'm always aware of watching what's going on. And I'm looking at these like 5, 6 cars behind us jostling, like they're trying to like run up on something. I don't know what's going on. And all of a sudden, Mercedes Benz pulls up on my side, and I hear a guy go, "Yo, bitch, yo, bitch." And I looked in the car, and all I saw was this nighttime. 2 guys, like they got fur jackets on with sunglasses on, so they called up to me, "He's stupid." And I looked at Gilmore and I said, "Are they talking to you?" Because I was 2 seconds off of just opening up the door and jumping in there and beating the crap out of these 2 guys. I don't know who they are. You
Right.
calling a bitch? And he goes, "Yo, what's up, Puffy?" And I go, "Puffy? What the fuck is a Puffy?" So now they're going back and forth. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Right?
Yeah.
Puffy, they try to cut us off. We turn on 6th Avenue, right? Make a left on 6th Avenue. He tries to cut us off. I took the wheel and snatched it to the right. So Gilmore almost hits him, but we stop. Puffy jumps out. He's waving like, come on, come on, come on, come on. You want to do it? Let's go, let's go. And Gilmore's looking at Puffy, but I'm watching Puffy looking to his left. And I look and I see all them same cars, a bunch of guys getting out. I'm like, okay, I'm not strapped. I don't know what's going on. I said, Gilmore, I don't think that's a good idea. And all of a sudden, pop, 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 Gilmore takes off. Now, mind you, I'm like, yo, we going through red lights and everything else. All these cars are chasing us. I'm cool. I'm really cool. I'm just sitting there like, okay, as long as we're ahead of them, no problem. Took the wheel, snatched it from Gilmore. I don't know if he remembers that. On 41st Street, went down a one-way street in the wrong direction. They almost crashed.
Whoa.
He goes down 2 blocks, makes a left, makes a right. Now we're on the proper street, jumps on 125th Street. And then I realized, like, wait a minute, there's a bullet hole in the window by me. And then I realized Rico hasn't got up. So I'm thinking they shot Rico. And I'm just like, no, Joe, what the hell? And then Rico gets up. Now I realize he's crying in the back. So I'm like, don't ever bring him around us again. He can't be with us.
Yeah.
But I remember I told Gilmore, give me your car because they know your car. Take my car. I'll drive your car around so they don't know. So that's what happened with me.
Wow, Lance. So Lance, can you explain, let everybody know who you are, in relation to Relentless?
Yeah, so Lance, he's just saying, could you tell him who you are in relation to me?
Oh, well, I've known Gilmore for a long time. I did security for Superstar Magazine for Gilmore. And like I said, to go with him when he picked up money and everything else. He just happened one night to say, yo, you want to roll with me? I'm just going to pick up some money. So I was like, all right, fine. It's just a hangout. That's what we just hanging out. So,
wow.
Yeah, I did security with him. I worked with his dad. So, I've known Gilmore for a long time.
Damn. Tell Lance thank you for hopping on. And
Lance, he said thank you for hopping on. We'll talk later, Lance. And so
we'll talk later.
All
you
right.
got it. I'm keying in on this, and just to let you know, two times. Yeah, I was one of the guys that turned Puffy away from. Didn't realize that. Didn't know he was, but he couldn't get into the show with the Vanessa Del Rio. He couldn't get in because we were booked.
Right.
Booked solid.
Right. Yeah.
So, all right.
Yep.
Man.
All right. Thanks, Lance. So the crazy thing is that's the first time he's ever spoken about like this, and y'all, I'm emotional because it's not like I'm a novelist and all that, and I've been publicized all over the world for what I do, but Lance, people don't know his greatness. People don't know who he is, what his potential is. And that we didn't have social media, we didn't have cameras around and surveillance cameras. So essentially, you're saying like I'm willing to wipe you guys out, right? So that you no longer matter, right? And so for me, like the letter I wrote to the judge today, The law firm that I'm dealing with today, keep his ass locked up. He's a danger to society for decades.
Yeah.
He's worse than Hannibal.
Yeah. So explain this to me though, because I want to hear your perspective of the chase as well here. But real quick, what law firm are you talking to right now?
Oh, I'm not just talking to them. I'm now a client of Mr. Busby,
Tony Busby.
the one that you saw on the press conference yesterday.
That's what's up.
I'm now part of that.
Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild.